So, as soon as we get back to camp after David getting voted off, I look at my bag, and it's empty. There's nothing out of the ordinary inside it, which just caught me off guard. I expected the legacy advantage to be there or something, but it's not. Tribal Council didn't really go my way. I voted in the minority again, and David left. Now, David gave me his legacy advantage, which caught me off guard. I did not expect him to give it to me. I thought he was giving it to Jim. But, guaranteed spot in the final 5 feels pretty good. We're super close to the end. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So, everyone's fine with going Nathan and Jim? Yep. Of course. So, at Tribal Council, I chose to side with Caitlin and the Girls Alliance to vote off David. And I think it was probably the best thing for my game. Right now, I'm, super close to the end. No one's trying to get me out, so I think I've got at least a spot in the final 4. Alright, so I only voted you because, I wasn't going to vote David, right? We were together since day 1, and it just didn't seem like something I should do, Yeah, I get that. But, right, I've got the legacy advantage, and I'm in final 5 regardless of what happens, Yeah, well, you're going to be fine either way, Jim, right? You're safe, but we weren't even going to vote you off anyway, so, yeah. Jim straight up tells me he has the legacy advantage. Well, I kind of expected him to have it, right? I don't see David giving it to anyone else. So, it's not like he needs it. Nathan was going regardless of what happens. Unless Nathan wins immunity, then we might be in trouble. Nathan, what? Did David give you the legacy advantage? He might have. I need a yes or a no. Yes, he did. Could you, give it to me to hang on to so if people ask to see it, I can, show them it so they don't vote for me? So, I'll give it back to you at Tribal, though? I don't see why not, as long as you don't just, take it from me. I was super sure I was going home last Tribal, but I didn't. And now I'm thinking I could be going home this Tribal, so... Yeah. David, why didn't you give me the legacy advantage? It's just, Welcome, survivors, to today's immunity challenge. This is how it's going to work. You're going to have to balance on a small platform. As time progresses, it will get more and more difficult to stay on. Last one standing will win immunity. Survivors ready? This challenge is on. Nate losing his balance pretty much instantly. He is out of this challenge. You 5. One of you will get a spot in the final 5. In 30 seconds, we'll make this a bit more difficult. Okay. Everyone, you have 10 seconds to take 1 foot off the platform. If you can't make the transition, you're out. And Jim can't make the transition. Jim is out of this challenge. Mia and Caitlin both make the transition. Katie, Jesse, you have 5 seconds to do so. Jesse succeeds in making the transition, but Katie does not. She is out of the challenge. Jesse, Caitlin, and Mia, the final 3 left in today's challenge. Only one of them can win. Mia takes a tumble. She's out of the challenge. We're down to the final 2. Okay, we're going to make this a bit more difficult. You have 10 seconds to move 1 arm above your head. I'll count you in. Both Caitlin and Jesse succeeded in making the transition. We'll stay like this for 5 minutes. Caitlin's been looking pretty strong this whole challenge. A bit of movement coming from Jesse. And Jesse falls off, which means Caitlin wins immunity. Congratulations, Caitlin, on winning immunity. Guaranteed a spot in the final 5. So for the rest of you, Tribal Council or somebody will be voted off and become the 5th member of the jury. Won't be you. Right, got nothing else for you. Grab your stuff, head on back to camp. See you guys tonight. I have been so close to winning immunity in most of the challenges. So to finally win, it's just a big weight off my shoulders, I'm 1 step closer to winning this whole thing. You did great in that challenge, Caitlin. Yeah, it was close. Oh, thanks. You did good too, Jesse. The big takeaway from the challenge is Nathan lost, so we should get him out right now before he makes it any further in the game. Yeah, I threw that challenge. I would not have been out first if I wasn't trying to lose, that challenge was probably winnable, but, if I'm immune, they won't vote for me, and if they don't vote for me, I can't have my way with the legacy advantage. So everyone's still set on Nathan over Jim? Yes, sir. Well, the only thing I'm worried about is, like, the legacy advantage, obviously. Well, yeah, Jim's probably got it. Yeah, but I'm not too sure. Nathan just dropped way too fast. It's like, why would you drop so fast? Maybe he just got unlucky. I don't know, it's like... I'm getting kind of second thoughts. Maybe we should split the votes. I'm kind of worried about the legacy advantage just because Nathan seemed to drop way too soon. Why would he do that? He knows he's in danger. He knows if he loses, he's going home. But he falls in like the first 5 seconds. Maybe he's just trying to, like, throw the challenge because he's safe with the legacy advantage. Mia definitely seems to be getting paranoid about tonight's vote. It's like, David would not give the legacy advantage to anyone but Jim, right? You see, Jim and David were pretty much joined at the hip for the entire game, really, so the only other person I see David potentially giving it to is Caitlin, but that wouldn't really be a problem, so, it's Nathan's time to go. So I've been going around with Nathan's legacy advantage and showing it to everyone because, some people are still kind of skeptical that I have it, and rightfully so, because, I am not safe tonight. But if they don't vote me, then who cares? So at camp, there's been a lot of talk about the legacy advantage, which Jim has, or at least claims to have. Some people think that Nathan might have it, but I don't believe so. It's like, the only reason I see David giving it to Nathan is if he's trying to, like, throw me for a loop and spite me into getting idled out or something, but I'm immune. So, worst case scenario, Nathan does have it, and I lose Mia or Katie, but I was going to have to lose one of them eventually, so it's like, that's the worst that can happen. Go ahead. So you showed it to everyone? Yep. And they're not going to vote for you? Nope. Good. So we basically have power to take out whichever one of the 3 we want. Yeah, I'm just kind of bummed that Caitlin won, because it kind of makes sense to get her out the most. Yeah, I know what you mean, but at the end of the day, does it really matter which one goes? I haven't really been playing too hard this round, I'm safe regardless of what happens tonight, and I'm expecting to get 4 of the 6 votes, and for me and Jim to just take out Katie or Mia. I'm hesitant to vote off Jesse just because I feel like there is a chance Jesse would keep me in later in the game, but, maybe not. So everyone's still good on what we've been deciding on? Yep. Don't see any reason to change it. I'm feeling pretty good about this coming vote. After tonight, we're going to be down to the final 5, and I feel pretty confident in my position in the tribe that I'll be able from 5 to get to 4, and from 4 to get to 3, so I'm not stressing too much about tonight. Welcome, survivors, to Tribal Council. Now introducing the members of our jury. James, J-Dog, Keith, and David. Voted off at the last Tribal Council. Alright. Nathan, as the numbers start dropping, gets to the point where the only thing that can keep you safe is individual immunity, and you don't have that. Do you feel nervous about tonight's vote? Well, of course, Jeff. If I didn't win the last immunity challenge, I would have been voted off, and if I didn't win this one, I'd probably get voted off too, so, I just bumped my position from 7th to 6th. Mia, do you think it's that easy to just vote Nathan off now and get to the final 5? Well, I guess, it's like Nathan's probably the biggest threat left in the game. It would be stupid to not take the chance and vote him off. But on the other hand, it's like, what do you do at 5? What do you do at 4? Jim, is it safe to say that you're feeling in a decent position tonight? Well, I'm feeling fine enough. My buddy David was kind enough to give me the legacy advantage, so I know I'm safe with Caitlin. And, yeah, what do you do at 5, like Mia said? What do you do at 4? Alright. Jesse, how do you feel about tonight's vote? I feel like it's gonna be interesting to see what happens after this vote, and just, like, who fills up the other spots on the jury and whatnot. Alright, it is time to vote. Caitlin, you're up. You're a good player, Nathan, and I'm really surprised you managed to get this far, but it's gotta end sometime. David, I hope you're sure you knew what you were doing when you gave Nathan the advantage, because I know I'm not too sure about what I'm doing tonight. I have tallied the votes. If anyone has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now would be the time to do so. Well, Jeff, I don't have an idol, but I got something that might be of interest to you. So, Jeff, tonight, David decided he would give me something pretty valuable. I've got the legacy advantage. I'd like to play it on myself. Oh my gosh. He's doing it. Man, David, what are you up to? The rules of Survivor state that when a legacy advantage is played, all votes cast for that person will not count. Because Nathan played it, Nathan is immune. I'll now read the votes. First vote, Nathan does not count. Second vote, Nathan does not count. Nathan does not count. That's no votes anyone. 3 votes left. Nathan does not count. It's no votes anyone. 2 votes left. Fifth vote, Katie. That's 1 vote for Katie, 1 vote left. 11th person voted off and the 5th member of the jury, Katie. Katie, that's 2, that's enough. Need you to bring me your torch. Katie, tribe has spoken. It's time for you to go. To be sent home in 6th place again? It's just... I'm over it at this point, honestly. I'm hoping that either Mia or Caitlin will be able to win this whole thing, because they're my 2 closest allies, and I think they deserve it, but yeah, it's just disappointing to be eliminated because of an advantage. Like, can't I just be voted off?